Okay, well, let's start.
All right.
Hey, hello everyone, welcome. My name is Umit, and
And
I am
I'm
very okay. I will introduce you with Barış, my colleague. We will be exploring the future of content personalization powered by AI. At Consensus Labs, we are spending a lot of time thinking about how technology is shaping the way we create, consume, and connect. So AI is no longer just a tool for efficiency. It's becoming a driving force behind the stories we tell, the media we share, and the way each of us experiencing the digital world. So the next hour, we will try to guide you through the opportunities, risks, and practices that can help us to navigate this landscape. Uh, uh, we will have also time for questions and open discussion at the end. So feel free to ask and also say your thoughts along the way. With that, let me pass it over to Barış, and he will kick us off framing what AI-powered content really means today. Yeah.
Hi. I want to talk about today on what AI-powered content is, how it's shaping the internet, and what problems it's creating, and how we are going to approach these problems through the lens of, again, AI-powered personalization. And I like to think of this as a coin with two sides. And one side is AI-powered content, and it's the text, the images, the videos, the code generated at never before seen scales and speeds. And the other side is AI-driven personalization, and that curates that whole mass of content to deliver exactly what you need. And together, they are a model of how internet could work in the oncoming years. And today we are going to explore their relationship and what challenges they present and how they complement each other. And I want to start by talking about AI-powered content. And like I said before, this is content created or enhanced by artificial intelligence, like text articles, social media posts, images, videos, and even animations of yourself wearing shoes you're looking at. And tools like ChatGPT, Dolly, Midjourney are leading this evolution, and this growth had been explosive from the start. Today is about 35 to 36% of companies are adopting AI. And in 2024, this AI saw 34 billion almost in investments, and this is only going to increase. And some sources predict that by the end of this year or by the midpoint of next year, up to 90% of all online content could be AI generated. And already 75% of all new websites have AI generated content in them. And
So,
this,
so that means somehow we are trying to hack Google search with Google Gemini.
yes, we are handing the work of hacking Google, so to speak, to Google. Yes, we are pitting it against itself.
Yeah.
And this is only one side of the coin. This is powerful, innovative. There is no doubt of that. The AI is changing what internet looks like, but it's only half of the story. Let's continue on to what AI content is good for. And it's a game changer. It has been a game changer because of efficiency and scale. And AI can generate thousands and thousands of articles, images, videos in minutes, depending on how many of them you run concurrently. And this means a dramatic boost in productivity. For example, a marketing team can now create in hours what they used to be able to create in a month. And secondly, it is very accessible. It democratizes the content creation, and you no longer have to be expert in, let's say, Adobe tools, Premiere, Audition, or any other things like that. You only need to have an idea, and AI is going to help you in making that into a reality. And data shows almost 70% of companies that use AI for content and marketing report significant growth on their returns of investment. So we can say it definitely has a financial impact. And third, it fuels innovation because it enables personalized marketing and it allows you to reach audiences your regular algorithms miss. Uh, and while we talked about how easy it is to create volumes and volumes and volumes of content, but this can easily get overwhelming, like kudzu wine. And
What? Sorry?
kudzu, it's a invasive wine species that's becoming a big problem in Europe and Americas.
Mhm.
It's spreading over cityscapes, turning them completely green.
Okay.
And AI content is growing rapidly, like that wine. That's why I chose that from euphemism. And uh, it can overwhelm ecosystems really quickly. And like the wine, the AI tools are overwhelming our medias. They are creating content farms, like low quality, repetitive, and nonsensical materials designed to rank high instead of providing any value. There are articles now, and that they are in the majority that are not designed for your eyes. You will never read them. You will never want to read them, but they are there to rank high on the search engine results. And this
Yeah,
poses a very clear. Sorry.
it's exactly what I was mentioning. I mean,
Mm,
yeah, hacking Google with Google.
yeah.
Yeah. So, so also, what I see in the last months, I want to say something about the quality of the content. Also, uh, there, uh, the currently AI generated content is well enough in quality. Also, uh, yeah, yeah.
It can
Mhm.
be, but it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
It's not on AI. The onus is on how people approach AI.
Mhm.
It's about
Okay.
people and not about tools.
Sure.
And there are clear risks with that. There's quality erosion because yes, there are AI generated content that has a purpose, but there is a current flood of cat people marrying each other and some random drama.
Mhm.
And there are these repetitive and meaningless, mediocre content And they also not only in media but also in design spaces, and they create poor user experiences. And when these sorts of designs rely on unverified outputs from AI,
Mhm.
they can reduce critical thinking on people. And also, there is the ethical side of this concern. AI contributes to disinformation, it creates bias, it creates clickbait titles and deepfakes and data scraping. But on the other side of all this, I like to put AI driven personalization, because personalization is a valid tool to curate this overwhelming growth of low quality content. It's very well usable to find relevant high quality content, kind of like a gardener in this case. While AI content is the vine, the personalization could prune the excess and cultivate your interaction into a meaningful experience. This is one possible way internet could work, and this is the way I'm going to argue for in this presentation. But before we move on, I want to talk about what I mean by personalization. Uh, before we dive further, at its core, personalization is customizing the experience to fit the individual user. And we are currently doing this by using data like the preferences or behaviors. For example, Netflix suggests you an action movie because you watched action movies, and Amazon recommends a book. Like if you're buying a bunch of cooking supplies like knives and whisks and stuff, it's going to recommend you a cookbook. Or Instagram will prioritize posts on accounts that get you engaged the most. And the goal is make these interactions more relevant, more engaging, and boost your satisfaction on these platforms. For businesses, it fosters loyalty and increases your retention. And understanding this foundation before we go any further is, I think, going to help us appreciate both strengths of these systems, but also where they fall short and what the AI offers. And our current tools are basically rule-based systems, which are very straightforward. They apply an if-then logic to your user data, such as displaying ads based on your searches. If you're searching for clothes, it's going to offer you shoes to go with them. And they are very easy to implement, but also very easy to explain how they work. There is also collaborative filtering, which is mostly popularized by Amazon. It looks at patterns across its all user base. If you like sci-fi, if you read Dune, for example, it's going to recommend you Star Wars, because most people who like sci-fi will also like space operas. And it's great for discovering new items, but it's going to make some assumptions about you. It's going to assume you are like other people who like sci-fi. And content-based filtering is what Netflix uses mostly. If you like action movies, it's going to recommend you high energy movies. Uh, but in truth, all of these platforms are using hybrid approaches that blend all of these methods to increase their robustness and reducing their weaknesses. And most importantly, the impact of cold starts, like when you are new to this platform and have not yet given them any information to work with. Uh, Give me a second. I'm so sorry. it was getting a little dark in here. Uh, and while these tools are effective for broadly applying them, they have significant shortcomings. For example, they don't account for context. If you're browsing late at night, when it's 3 a.m., you may usually want to watch high energy movies, but in 3 a.m., you're probably not doing that. But they can take into account time. But for example, if you usually like to watch, let's say, volleyball matches, you are not going to want to watch a match while you're doing the dishes. And they will never account for your that. And these systems can also lead to filter bubbles and echo chambers because it's going to feed you more and more of what you like. And it's going to trap you with other people who have similar opinions. You're never going to see outside of your bubble. And there's also a huge concern about privacy because these systems hoard your data. And they also falter in edge cases and cold starts, like we talked about. And when you apply these systems to millions and millions of people, because they are the scales we are talking about, you get more and more and more deviations from the analytics. They are not going to scale well. But AI solves these issues by shifting the gears. Traditional tools are rule driven, but AI introduces a flexibility. It uses neural networks to learn patterns from gigantic data sets, and it outperforms humans in predictions. And natural language processing, for example, lets systems understand sentiment in your chats. And it may understand if you're stressed out, and it will recommend uplifting content. While our current algorithms, let's say it's 3 a.m. and you're on your phone and you're scrolling Twitter, for example, while our current systems is going to consider this engagement and are going to give you more and more and more posts to keep you up, an AI-driven personalization would understand if you're up at 3 a.m. scrolling Twitter, you are probably being rage baited, you are doom scrolling, and it's going to gently guide you away from that. It's going to gently show you more and more uplifting videos. And AIs can adapt to you and you specifically. If you skip a song from a playlist, it may immediately refine the playlist. And there are multimodal integrations because AI is working on more than one vertical now. And it can pull data from the tone of your voice, your facial expressions, your purchase histories, and it's going to understand you and not the category you belong to. And this shift makes personalization proactive and intuitive. And it's going to open doors to innovations that has never been possible before, like mood aware and emotion tracking. And this is when the system understands your current state. Are you agitated? Are you calm? Are you tired? Are you bored? And it's going to infer this information from pace of your scrolling or late night using or rewatching or binging. And it's going to read these patterns in your data and it's going to understand your mood and going to act accordingly. And similarly, it can also understand your sort of mental bandwidth because all of us sometimes say things like, I want to watch a light movie that won't require a lot of brain power. and it's going to suggest you those shorter content and more summarized content. And it's gonna look at context and timings. It's gonna understand where you are, what you're doing. And if you're commuting to work, you're probably not going to want to watch a full movie. And it also going to understand your goals. And if you express, let's say, an intent to learn a new language, it's going to show you some videos that are going to help learn, let's say, until you reach 30 minutes of engagement every day. And it's gonna be very, very personalized. And it's gonna also minimize your regret, because we see a lot of engagement, if not yours personally, then in general, comes from negative engagement methods like rage baiting and doom scrolling. And AI can minimize your regret in this. Like you watch some content and you get angry at it, but AI can understand this and can decide not to show these content to you.
And maybe
And
show you some
cat
uh,
videos.
okay, yes, yes. Well, so before moving forward, what I was thinking here, so there's
Mhm.
a requirement, pre-requirement just before moving the AI-powered personalization, which is collecting the user data and
Mhm.
using multiple models and just adjusting your experience. So I believe that will be a shift in the personal devices like phones or some other wearables that we will see in following years that will enhance the user experience uh, in terms of content personalization, because all the data you mentioned can be only available on your device. I mean, your uh, exactly what you are looking at and what's your blood pressure and so what's the timing and the data from different apps, so on and so forth. What do you think on that?
Well, sort of. I mean, there are methods to infer your state of mind, like your pace of scrolling, speed at which you type, how much pressure you put on your screen, which your
So,
phone
but
already can collect this data. But
all this data are only available on the device anyway.
oh yes, yes, of
Yeah.
course, of course. And as an improvement, AI can decide what to collect. Yes, AI would definitely help here. That is true.
So it's a
Uh,
kind of what I see here is a kind of pre-requirement for this shift is
I I don't necessarily agree that you need a wearable AI for this shift, because you're already capable of collecting this information. You need AI to analyze this.
okay.
But I talked about a lot of data, which fairly made you think of AI, yes. But this also comes with a trade-off. You are going to be sharing very, very heavy data, and you're going to be sharing it for a longer duration, not only when you're engaging with the content, but also afterwards. How you reacted to it, how it affected you. This will also become data. And it's going to look at if you're binging right before you go to bed, if you ruminated on it after, and all this data being collected is going to is going to constitute a privacy risk, because not only your spending habits, not only your movie choices, but also your mood, how well you sleep, when you sleep, what puts you under stress. Even if inferred, this data will be available. And also, it will be much, much harder to evaluate because click-through rate is a very simple mathematical parameter. But if this person is fine, it's very, very difficult to discern. Well-being is not a mathematical variable. Like, did you regret clicking on this? It's very hard to quantify. And all this data may also lead to some abuse patterns like vulnerability loops. The model may detect your loneliness or anxiety and feed content that heightens that state because it boosts short-term engagement. And uh, if you if seeing videos in which uh, you appear makes you stressed, it may very well start recommending you beauty products, which is predatory marketing. And worse, it may first recommend you videos that will trigger this stress response. And if you have right after work, for example, you're at the height of your stress, at the height of your tiredness, it may realize that and consider this the hour you are most likely to spend, and it may bombard you with ads. And it may show parasocial squeezes to you. Like if you considered buying something and didn't, it may show you your friends who already have that. And this is a very dangerous step, but all technologies are dangerous. And the dangers lie with people and not the technology. And we can, of course, as people, we can reduce these harm systems. We can minimize the data we collect, and we collect this data, like you said, on the device itself, so it's not available from outside. This would be an amazing practice, and uh, it should be the industry standard, yes. And also, as users, we should state explicit goals. We should have an idea what we are going to do and should not drift along with the algorithm. And we should, in AIs also, we can use these personalization methods, rules for stop if the user gets too agitated, cut them off, or if the user gets too agitated, yes, they are engaging, but steer them away. Let them calm down for a bit. And also we can, before going to market with these ideas, we can put them through audits. We must be transparent because this is a very transformative new technology. AI will change what internet is completely, and we have to be responsible with this. And and this brings us to the end of the presentation. This is your time to ask questions if you have them, share your observations, or make your additions if you have them. So I give the mic to you.
Okay, we are ready for the questions. Do you have any?
There is one in the chat, I think. Yes, Jake. How can
Okay.
smaller companies compete in personalization when big players have so much more data? This is a little on the corporation side, and I'm going to pass this to Ümit.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so yes, those big guys. So what's the general solution for this for the smaller companies? What we do is focusing on niche, but in depth, not in scale. And so as a company, you may focus on high quality personalization or just a narrower audience or vertical, for example. And also maybe you can lean on open source AI models like advanced trained models, for example, specifically for disabled persons, for example. So you may focus on prioritizing transparency and building trust. These may also help you to find your specific vertical or domain. And you can partner with those big guys or partner with some guys, having partnered with the big guys. There's also opportunity. Instead of trying to replicate the full stack of big platforms, you can integrate them with tools, APIs. Yeah, I hope this helps.
Mhm. Yeah, there is a interconnectivity in the internet that I don't see in any other vertical. And it's very easy and expected that you would collaborate
Yeah.
through APIs
Mhm.
and through, yeah. So
APIs
you're
and
never
also,
alone. You're never completely alone.
yeah, also AI language model protocols, for example.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Any
Else?
other questions?
Okay, no questions at all, I think. Um, so thank you for having time with us. Uh, I hope it was valuable to you. I hope to see you in the next online webinar.
Mhm.
Uh, Thank you.
Yeah, in the meantime, if you have questions or just want to talk about something, you can contact us at the email on the screen, but also we are on Discord and Telegram.
Okay.
I
Bye-bye.
just wanted to say this. Bye.
Bye.
Okay, let's go. Bye bye.